and finding a way to hurt, if you like, Cork last week and Galway this week.
I cannot wait. What way is it going to go? And will it go a particular way within 70 minutes?
It's so hard to call. I'll be honest, I was very much adamant on Galway earlier in the week. Closer I get to this Tip, but I still take with Galway. Maybe that bit of hurt might just get them over the line.
Derek?
Yeah, fancy Tip if they can get a kick out of their senior players, the Mars, McGraths, etc.
See, it is impossible to call. Now, most me live Trochtach oil Oscail Gatoshi le fall air on RT News channel, but our commentary team at the LIT Gaelic grounds are Brendan and Ger.
Thank you very much indeed, Joanne. It's most appropriate that we're watching a Tipperary team in action here today, because this evening, of course, the GAA will stage a special remembrance ceremony to honour the 14 victims killed at Croke Park on Bloody Sunday. This day, 100 years ago, including Tipperary's Michael Hogan. A yesh love day, go raibh an anamnacha galéir. Well, we've got positively Mediterranean conditions today here in Limerick by comparison with recent weeks. Johnny Murphy from Limerick is set to take charge. It's a massive game in the hurling championship, this lunchtime special. Brendan Cummins is with me here. Brendan, what are you looking forward to seeing?
Well, just a titanic battle, Ger. It's as simple as that. The lads mentioned in the pre-match there, it's always a fantastic game between the two teams. Breeze blowing left to right. Tipperary will have it in the first half. It's a strong enough now breeze, Ger, but the conditions other than that are perfect. I was out in the pitch before the game. It's very strong underfoot, so everything is set up. No excuses here today, Ger.
Well, it's the quarter-final of the hurling championship. It's, as I mentioned, an absolutely enormous game in the story of the 2020 hurling championship for both of these teams and for everyone else, I think, as well. It's Tipperary who won the toss, playing from left to right in the first half, and ending that stalemate and getting first possession here is Aidan Hart, running into a little cul-de-sac, helped out there by Cathal Mannion. Eventually taken out of danger and holding on to it there and winning the first free is Joe Canning. He's only just about, what, 65 metres out from his own goal, probably fancying this one, even though it's going to be into a light enough breeze, but I guess significant. And it's Canning then trying to put his team, Galway, in front. Remember the point he got right at the very end of the semi-final in 2017, the last time these two sides met in championship action. That was out near the sideline in Croke Park. This is here in the LIT Gaelic grounds in Limerick. Giving himself every opportunity. A long distance out, 85 metres from the target, on its way and dropping over the bar. Opening point of the match, scored by Joe Canning of Galway. Some score.
Yeah, good settler for Galway there. There's no doubt about it. But Galway showed great intent there, Ger, in that first passage of play, just moving the ball around the middle third, pinging 10-15 yard passes to try to create opportunity.
It's Brian Hogan pucking this one out, his first time to play senior championship against Galway. Barry Heffernan coming across, trying to take control of that one there. Got the call up to replace John McGrath. Coming forward here, Dan McCormack trying to make some inroads up onto the 45-metre line, winning the free, and it's going to be a free in for Tipperary, chance for them to draw level.
Yeah, just a high tackle there. Aidan Hart coming in on Dan McCormack. That's exactly what Dan McCormack gives Tipperary. Brian Hogan there giving a low puck out to Noel McGrath. The long booming ones that we saw in Páirc Uí Chaoimh seem to be gone, and Tipper trying to play through the lines again. Opportunity now for Jason Ford,
who got a goal and 6, of course, against Cork in that last match, which was played in horrendous weather. This one just inside the right-hand upright, safely over the bar, and the free takers are off to a very good start here. So a point apiece. Anna Murphy from the Tommy Larkins club in Galway, hitting it out towards his right-hand side this time. Collected there by Fintan Burke, putting it right up into the corner. Going across to try and get that one there was Conor Cooney over there as well with Conor Whelan. End result is going to be a line ball. Brendan Maher just opting to leave this one. And fancying taking the cut up will be Ronan Maher. Ronan playing today in what is his 29th ever championship match. And this is the All-Ireland hurling quarter-final. Cathal Mannion trying to win that one there for Galway. Spilling loose. Aidan Hart going back, nursing it, having a little look around to see what's on for him. Over his shoulder then. Targeting David Burke, who made a big impression when he came on in Croke Park 7 days ago. Joe Canning into the corner here, in towards Conor Whelan. 2 men against him. Whelan ready to take them on, then deciding to recycle. Has a player available. Johnny Cohen fancying this one. Awkward angle for him. Great score by Johnny Cohen.
Very good score there from Johnny Cohen. Ball fed out to Whelan, but it was interesting. The 2 full forwards here ran to the right-hand side of the Tipperary defence to leave the room for Whelan to run into it, and Joe found it with a nice pass, well recycled. Good score, Johnny Cohen.
Alan Flynn, player has played everywhere and anywhere in recent times for Tipperary. Well collected here nicely by Jason Ford, ready to take on his man. Difficult angle for him, trying to get it in. Calnan trying to get early possession. He's got it. Shamie Calnan advancing. What a shot! What a goal! Opening goal of the match, scored by Shamie Calnan, his 36th ever goal in championship hurling. The man who in the past has got 3-8 and 3-9 in the past against Galway defences. What a good start here.
Yeah, a nice hit from Jason Ford, put Callan inside 10-15 yards. Dahi Burke slipped. Fintan Burke is trying everything he can to get back, but Callan is absolutely lethal when he gets the ball 7 or 8 yards out. Superstar for Tipperary, Ger.
Goal and a point then against 2 points. And that one is down towards Calden again. He's got to take some marking in there by Dahi Burke. That should be a very tasty contest. He flicked it away from Burke that time. And here come Tipperary again. It's Noel McGrath easing into the shot and putting it up and over the bar. It's a dream start by the Premier men.
It is, and again it's that long ball in on top of Shamie Callan. The half-forward line aren't going to hit the ball aimlessly wide like we saw here against Cork. You just floated in top of Shamie, picked up the pieces. Bonner Maher again recycling the ball to give Noel McGrath an opportunity to put it between the posts.
Well, Liam Sheedy certainly the happier of the 2 managers in the early stages here. Real battle on the sideline. And Liam was pumped up last week when we were watching him in the last of the qualifier matches. And he certainly has fired up again here, I think. And it's got through to his players. They realise the importance of this game. Galway coming off a Leinster final defeat, and I guess that's been the job of Shane O'Neill, to build them up again, to lift them once more. Sideline cut here to be taken by Joseph Cooney. Made a good connection down into the corner, but there's nobody there in a maroon shirt. Instead, it's Paddy Maher who goes across. Paddy who works as a Garda here in Limerick City, linking up with his brother Ronan, clearing it downfield. Nicely picked up, beautifully so, by Jason Ford. Ford once again up towards Calden, this time reaching into to try and get it was Dahi Burke. In trouble, however, and the referee has blown his whistle. Dahi protests his innocence, but it's got to be a free in.
It is a fair sign of intent from Tipperary. Jason Ford got the ball. He didn't try. You see, Dahi Burke there was in hard luck. It just came before that. Just the referee said he was leaning down on top and back of Shamie's shoulder. There's going to be lots of tosses like that inside there over the course of today, because Tipperary are obviously just dropping the ball in on top of Callan and hoping to pick up the pieces, and they picked up another free here.
I thought that was innocent enough, I have to say, on the part of the full back.
Yeah.
They get a free out of it. They'll take everything that's going, Tipperary. And this is Jason Ford again, looking for his second. That one was an easy one for him. So it's all going very nicely for Tipperary, leading here by a goal and 3 points to Galway's 2 points.
Tipperary are pushing up now too a bit on the Galway puck out.
Galway goalkeeper Ayanna Murphy in his first championship season. Coming across to take this one, not standing back. Once again, it's Ronan Maher, gets it in there. This time the opposing fullback comes out. That's Dahi Burke winning this one against Calnan. Helped out to get that ball away. Again, the referee saw some holding. It's got to be a free out for Galway.
the good players, Gerald, will adapt during the game. Dahi Burke now has a fair idea that every ball is going to come in front of Shamey. He beat him out to it there. Did really well, and Shamey fouled him with the spare hand.
Dahi Burke, or rather David Burke, the one who's going to come and take this free. Takes it, hits it into the corner once again. Canning goes racing after it. Pitch is soft, but in good conditions, considering all the rain we've had of late. And this time the referee saw a foul committed. It's a push, and it's going to be a free out. There you can see the pitch in the background there, cutting up almost immediately. Very soft on this near side of the field. Ronan Maher cutting it up here. Touched out there by Fintan Burke. Big experience for Fintan Burke, playing in just his third championship match. Won back by Alan Flynn. Then taking control of this and firing it back down. Will it stay in field? No, just beats the corner forward Jake Morris for that. Jake, who's been on a goal a game of late. Very, very dangerous quarter forward. Once again, Anna Murphy pucking this one out. Reaching in and taking this one down here, Pádraig Mannion. Real battle coming across Joseph Cooney. Commanding figure here. Nicely in there. Dangerous moment inside. Here's an opportunity. Again, a second opportunity. Great save there. That was a super shot by Brian Concannon, and a wonderful save by Brian Hogan.
It was again. You can see the intent from both forward lines. They get the ball inside. They're going to take on their man. Concannon was hooked first, which is always hard for a goalkeeper to reset your feet. A fantastic save down low to his right from Brian Hogan.
Well, when you consider Brian Hogan is 6'6" tall, that's some agility to get down there.
Yeah, and the first the referee has pulled back the free. Concannon was being pulled back, and that's the reason he couldn't get the first strike away.
So Joe Canning has this one from the 20-metre line, easy as you like, so a second one for him. And it's a goal and 3 points to 3 points. The only goal of the game so far scored by Shamey Callanan after about 4 minutes of play. Hogan's puck out this time, down into the corner. Sun comes out. Noel McGrath getting there, and Noel McGrath hitting that one, but the wrong side of the post this time. Just the second wide.
On the puck out there, too, Pádraig Maher is standing on his own 45, so Anna Murphy can try to play it through there, his back line.
Racing out to try and win this one. Conor Whelan going down low, waiting if that ball pops back towards him. Canning taking it up here, 2 men around him. There's a free man outside. That's Joseph Cooney. Still dangerous here. Cathal Mannion. What a good effort, what a great goal. It's Cathal Mannion. Superb goal.
Unbelievable finish from Cathal Mannion. He gets the ball inside here again. It's that appetite to get goals, and he just pings with the wrist, beats Brian Hogan just on his near post, but that's travelling like an absolute rocket, Jar.
It sure is. A goal and 3 to a goal and 3. Sides level for the second time. So Brian Hogan beaten, likewise Anna Murphy beaten at the other end. 2 Galway players surround the man coming out, and there's a little bit of help available. Paddy Mars there to try and take it up. A man who's been in many a battle in the past. The referee halting the play, however. It's very, very soft underground just in that section of the LIT Gaelic grounds.
It is, with Paddy Maher found himself with absolutely no support coming. You see Concannon, he's taken on the work rate he had in Croke Park last weekend. Mannion pushes up as well. Tipperary conceded a goal. Galway shut down their short puck out, so it's a huge lift to Shane O'Neill and his charges, and a good opportunity now for Joe.
Joe Canning with 2 points from frees already in this contest. 6th time playing against Tipperary in the championship. So this to put Galway in front. Well, he's missed it. It's just gone to the right-hand side. The one that got away, that's the very first wide of the match by Galway. Brian Hogan. Very, very long down into the corner here. Seamus Callan going across to try and get there. Gearóid McInerney is there for Galway. Helped out. Dahi Burke trying to play it back here. In the end, it's swept away out of danger. Broken down there by Paddy Maher. Galway onto it quickly. Johnny Cohen in the thick of the action, and the referee in the end blows his whistle.
So Johnny Cohen threw the ball there. Johnny's disagreeing there with Johnny Murphy, the referee, but he was right on top of it to see it. It's hard to see from up here, Gerard, if he did or he didn't, but it's good pressure again from the Tipperary half-back line, just standing it up.
Well, the end result
see it better here now. Yeah, there's no clear separation between the hand and the ball, so good referee in there from Johnny Murphy.
The end result is going to be a free for Tipperary, and coming out to take this one is going to be Jason Ford. 2 points already in the match for Jason, playing today in his 33rd ever championship match. He's a big long distance back. Up into the air it goes, but it hasn't got the direction, and that's another one that's gone astray. That's 3 wide so far for Tipperary. 1-3 to 1-3, early stages in the match.
Tip again, and Paddy Maher sitting back gives Galway the opportunity now to work the ball up the pitch. David
Burke in there towards Conor Whelan, right in the thick of the action, but picked up again by Paddy Maher. And Paddy Maher wins the free out for Tipperary inside their own 45-metre line. Settling down to be a really good battle, this one, between two of the best in the country. Under pressure there, taking that pressure is Daithí Burke, linking up with his goalkeeper.
It's a great catch from Daithí Burke. It's those battles inside there that Galway will have to win, and Daithí's done exceptionally well there. Another worrying take, see the catch here with his right hand, holding off Shamey Callan. Shamey was tugging him back there, so it's definitely a free, and there's a high challenge coming in. But Éanna Murphy just after that, Gerard, the ball came in back to him, and he couldn't see it with the sun, so it's very tricky down in those goals of the sun coming out over the top of the stand like that.
We've had varying weather conditions in this year's championship, that's for certain. Daithí Burke now, way up here, caught superbly. Little bit of help required. Back out into the corner once again it comes. Ronan Maher this time, down to the other corner. Noel McGrath going over to try and take this one. He's been marked by Shane Cooney. Cooney lobbing it back. And then coming deep to take this one, David Burke made a big impression when he came on in Croke Park last week. Got a couple of points in that second half. Didn't quite turn the tide in Galway's favour. That's Conor Whelan, nicely forward here. Joseph Cooney, he's played so much of his career in the forwards. That's an easy one for him. Up and over the bar. First point of the match by the wing half-back.
Yeah, it's been his third opportunity up that wing, but maybe a little bit more worrying for Tipperary, Gerard. Before this passage of play, Noel McGrath looked very, very sluggish underneath us there. We see Cooney in acres of space this time and had scored a very good score.
Brian Hogan with the puck out for Tipperary. Down towards Shamey Callan. Sweeping across there is David Burke once again. Real summery type conditions being experienced by the players. Quite a contrast to recent weeks. Over towards Joe Canning, keeps it moving along there towards Joseph Cooney. Back once again to Canning, standing 65 metres out from the Tipperary goal, and he's hit it just inside the left-hand upright, nicely over.
Yeah, Dan McCormick needs to get a grip on Joseph Cooney there. He's drifting in field. Barry Henderson is always having a chat with him there to say, how is this guy on his own so often? Joe there flows with lovely. The breeze is blowing left to right, kind of against him there, so he's a fantastic score from long range.
Conor Maher got that one, played it in field, lost there by Johnny Cohen. Tries to get it back again here, helped out by Shane Cooney, runs into 2 or 3 Tipperary players. The referee's whistle goes. Cooney went down, and the referee might have a word or two with
Jake Morris.
Jake Morris on this occasion.
He gave him a flick with the hurley, I would think, is what Johnny Murphy is saying. It's Jake coming in, just he gets away there. It's just the left one as the Galway defender was going up the pitch. Shane Cooney.
First yellow card of the match then to a Tipperary player, and it's Jake Morris, the 21-year-old playing in his 14th ever championship match, who gets this. The end result is a free for Joe Canning once again for Galway. 3 points so far, 2 of those from frees. This one's a tiny bit nearer than one he pointed earlier on. But from the middle of the field on a near perfect day for sport, and that one drifts away left, and a missed opportunity. 2 wides by Galway.
Yeah, it didn't come back in. Water break here now anyway, Gerard, but I suppose in the first quarter, Galway will be very, very happy, considering Tipperary had gotten that early goal with Shamie Callan, but after that, Dahi Burke seems to have gotten to grips with them inside. But the puck-outs are extremely interesting. Both teams are sitting. A player in Galway's case is David Burke is sitting back. In Tipperary's case is Padraig Maher on their own 45. So it is challenging defences to work the ball out the pitch. And if you go along in this day, Gerard, the way both of them are setting up on puck-outs, you won't win them.
It's some 10 minutes now since Tipperary got their last score. This was nicely worked in here for Jason Ford. Ready to try and take on a couple of players. And then from inside the goal, just watch this. A real blasting shot that time from Seamus Callan, the man who was on a goal a game, of course, in last year's championship.
And again, when the ball is blocked there, it falls nicely to Coney. But when Colin Mannion gets it, you can see the power he gets in his wrist there. When he throws it up, he hits it about elbow high, and it just goes like an absolute steam train, and it's a fantastic finish. But Galway will know that, and Shane O'Neill will be saying that when we get the ball inside, you need to take on your man. The pitch is a little slippy underfoot. Get away from that defender and pull the trigger. And certainly Galway are going extremely well in the first quarter, considering they're playing against that breeze, chair.
We've been reading, Brendan, the fact that after the water breaks in so many matches this year in the championship, things have taken on a renewed life for one of the teams.
They have, and Tipperary will have told, Liam Sheedy will have told Brian Hogan that, look, David Burke is going to be standing down the 45. You can't hit the ball long down. We have to play through the Galway 65. So it'll be interesting to see what he does here now.
It'll be Brian Hogan who will restart the match. So we're in the 17th minute of the first half. All-Ireland quarter-final, first of those, coming to you live from the LIT Gaelic grounds in Limerick on a lovely summery afternoon. Well, sunshiny afternoon anyway, maybe not summery. That's played in here. An opportunity for Dan McCormack to get his hands on the ball here, try to take on a couple of opponents. It breaks kindly. Bonner Maher leaving it there. Jake Morris in the end trying to split the post and succeeding in that. Good point by Jake Morris, the man who's on a goal a game and has been in the last two championship matches.
Kenya has great work from Dan McCormack. That's he does for Tipperary. Colin Mannion that flicked the ball away from Niall O'Meara. Then Dan took it back off him. Galway now are working it.
Short puck out as far as Aidan Hart, but he's been robbed of that, and there's an opportunity for Noel McGrath to punch the air, because he knew from the time it left his stick it was heading just one place, and that's over the Galway crossbar.
Yeah, again, that's going to be the challenge there for both teams. Éanna Murphy inside in the goals. I see Noel when he gets it. That'll be huge for Noel McGrath's confidence.
Teams level for the third time. That puck out as far as Aidan Hart. This time there's no hanging around. It's delivered quickly inside there towards Conor Cooney. Cooney drifting away out towards the sideline, quite soft out there. Played back infield here towards Conor Whelan, ready to take off into the 20-metre line, slipping the pass here. Concannon! Brilliant goal. Fifth ever for Brian Concannon in the championship. Great move, brilliantly dispatched with 19 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, Galway Whelan gets the ball in the danger area, gives it across to Concannon, but before that, Cooney won the ball overneath the stand here. He just played a dummy puck, but what a finish from Concannon across. You know, they've just ambition to get goals. Brian Hogan had no chance there. Fantastic finish.
It's a real score fest so far between these two great rivals. As was mentioned earlier, in three semi-finals, one after the other. There's only a point between them, 15, 16 and 17. Hefty clashes going on in there. Dan McCormack down on the ground. Play continues way up there. Taken in beautifully here by Conor Whelan. Ready to take off past his man. Niall O'Meara being his man on this occasion, who drifted back. And that one has gone the wrong side of the post from a Galway point of view. And it's 2-5 to 1-5. Galway the leaders with 19 minutes gone.
So Whelan gives you there. You can see him getting up for the ball in the air. He's very, very strong, very combative, but he'll be disappointed he didn't pot that one.
Padraig Maher dropping that one way back down there. Jason Ford lobbing it back. Once again, it's the very calm figure of Noel McGrath eyeing up the target, but this time the wrong side of the post from McGrath's point of view. 4 wides by Tipperary.
And Noel tried to float that one over the bar. It's just a sign of maybe where his confidence is at the moment. He's trying to arrow that one over, Ger.
Interesting where Noel McGrath is operating today, in that inside forward line on the left-hand side. Change of plan by Tipperary. Yeah. This is Michael Breen. Had a wonderful game against Cork. 5 points in awful conditions. That ball goes down towards Patrick Bonner Maher, trying to get away from his man. Linking up here with Niall O'Meara. Still operating around the middle of the park, Niall O'Meara. Caught beautifully. That's Barry Heffernan, got the call to come in before the start of the match in place of John McGrath, and again, the wrong side of the upright.
And here's that sweeper. David Burke gets clean possession.
Lobbing it down here, but there are more Tipperary players than Galway players, even if Cathal Barrett needed a moment. The referee says he picked it off the ground at the end of all of that. He balanced it and tried to take it up and was a little misfortunate.
He was in hard luck, Cathal, there. He slipped on him, but he did, I would think, have his fingers on the grass, yeah, when he picked it up there. But again, it's when the ball goes wide during the game, you're allowed to puck the ball out faster when it goes wide, so it allowed David Burke to get free and put that dangerous ball up along the wing. Cathal disappointed, didn't deal with it first time, but Galway are putting serious pressure on that Tipperary defence. Anytime there's an opportunity for a turnover there, they're all over it.
Cathal Barrett had a little word there with the referee, Johnny Murphy from Limerick, querying the call, obviously. Joe Canning ready to take this. 3 points already for Big Joe. First two of those were from frees. And this time inside the right-hand upright, and another white flag for Galway. So 2-6 to 1-5, 4 points the margin. Ryan Hogan pucking it out as far as Alan Flynn. Operated in the centre of the field against Limerick in the opening round of the championship for Tipperary. That one is kicked out towards Joseph Cooney. Dan McCormack trying to come to grips with that. Playing it back, hammered in by Alan Flynn, and Flynn watching his handiwork, and it gets a white flag for Tipperary. A first point of the match for Alan Flynn.
Yeah, good score from Alan Flynn there. There's great confidence, especially when a couple start to float wide. Somebody has to put their hand up. In fairness to Alan Flynn, he did it, but again, the key was that Tipperary didn't shoot from mad angles first. They put the ball in front of Callan. Even though he didn't win it, they picked up the piece again with Dan McCormack.
Anna Murphy in his rookie season with the Galway senior hurlers in the championship. So late in the year to be making your championship debut. This man is well used to it. Ronan Maher, back again it comes. Might have taken another route and another option. Went for glory there, Ronan. So the wides now for Tipperary mounting up somewhat. 6 already, and we've just played 22.5 minutes.
Yeah, the quality of the team that Galway are, and the form they're in with scoring goals. Tip need to keep that scoreboard ticking with those opportunities.
Anna Murphy down here, landing into the hand beautifully there of Conor Whelan. Didn't manage to make anything of it, however, and there's an opportunity now to get that ball back. That was Jake Morris firing it back over there, over towards his captain, Shamie Calnan. Calnan outside the 45-metre line, batted back in there by Ford. An opportunity to advance here, comes back towards Noel McGrath, and McGrath slings it up into the air accurately between the uprights and over the bar, and McGrath's now got a 3rd point.
Yeah, good run from Shamie Callan away from the sweeper, the bat back from Jason Ford, and then the tip back to Noel McGrath for a well-worked score. Great combination play from the Tipperary forward line.
No lack of confidence or accuracy from Noel McGrath so far. The 29-year-old really starring here in this match, but Galway still leading. And that is Cathal Mannion, goal scorer already in the game. Across here towards Conor Cooney, and Cooney lobs it up and sees his work result in a white flag, his first point of the match.
Yeah, great pass from Cathal Mannion across the pitch there. Joe just missed it, and Cooney was onto it.
So a goal once again between the teams. Paddy Maher now here, all the way across, and that one is driven way back down by Brendan Maher, the Borris-Lee man, coming racing out to try and win this one for Galway is Daithí Burke.
Threw it up, caught it.
But he threw it up, as you say.
Yeah, the pass was on up the wing for just a second, and he thought, no, I won't, and he had done extremely well to leave his post inside there at full back to show that he's willing to attack the game.
Liam Sheedy there, I think greatly boosted by that win over Cork here last week, so they know the Gaelic grounds particularly well now. Mind you, the last time they would have played Galway here was in the league final a couple of years ago. They were also All-Ireland champions at occasion, and they lost that league final pretty heavily. Here's Jason Ford. Well directed by Ford, no problems whatsoever. That's 3 from 3 for the free taker. So it narrows the gap to just a point, as expected. Very little to choose between these two great rivals.
Michael Breen now, Ger, is the man stationed as inside the D for Tipperary to sit back there, change from Paddy Maher, and here he comes. Brendan Maher, sorry.
Brendan's racing across. Man who's played everywhere. He was in the half forwards a couple of seasons ago, you may remember. This time outside the D, his own D, driving it back down towards the other one. And there's a player back there well able to pick it up, and that's David Burke. He's played most of the match so far in a defensive role there, a role that Pádraig Mannion was playing, you may remember, in the game against Kilkenny 7 days ago. Ronan Maher watching, but it'll be Galway who'll have the sideline cut. Joe Canning ready to come up and take this. His last quarter-final was 4 years ago. It was against Clare. Now 32 years of age. I'm sure he fancies this one here. You may be absolutely certain, but Brian Hogan, all 6'6" of Brian Hogan, is anticipating this one flying in there. Now, will it fly over the bar as well? It's travelling, but it's moving, and the wrong direction of the post from Joe Canning's point of view. 4 wides for Galway. They still lead, however, by 2-7 to 1 goal and 8 points. 1 goal and 8.
Breeze just caught that one on Joe. It is blown slightly left to right into his face.
Michael Breen comes across here, lets it drop, however, one-handed away by Johnny Cohen. Mannion then sets it up here, an opportunity to race forward, and that's Cathal Mannion firing it in from a huge distance out. What a very good score that is.
And trouble here for Tipperary. Jake Morris has been booked already. He was trying to hook Mannion as he came up the pitch, and he just clipped him on the side of the head, I would think, with the hurleys he was coming around.
Well,
see him coming in here.
He was trying to hook him, as you say.
Yeah.
Let's just see a close-up of this. Yeah, he did make contact.
I'd say in
accidental.
Fairness, to Johnny Murphy, so there was no intent in it.
No, there wasn't.
No, Cathal Mannion is up, but a fantastic score all the same, and that's what Galway will want to do, Gerard. The Tipperary sweeper, Brendan Maher, sitting on the edge of the D. They'll want to run that ball through the middle.
That's a goal and a point for Cathal Mannion already in this match, as Pádraig Maher sets Tipperary on their way again. Brendan Maher was up there involved in that, so to Bonner Maher. Eventually the referee saw a foul on Cathal Mannion, so it's twice in the last minute or so that the big Huskra Fohana man has been fouled. Free to Galway.
Great skill for Maiden Hart there as well, Gerard, as the Tipperary forward was going away with the ball. He just got in the flick and took it away clean.
Free once again to be taken by Joe Canning. He's been very, very busy with these right from the very word go. He's inside his own 65-metre line, so doing the maths, about 90 metres from the Tipperary goal. Goes a different direction, plays it in towards the corner instead. Perhaps didn't fancy it. There is a breeze against him, I know, but ordinarily you would have seen Joe have a go at that one, but just a little bit of variation.
Yeah, it's no harm to keep the Tipperary defence on their toes there. It was a good run, but again, into the breeze, it just dropped that little bit too short and gave the Tip defence time to scramble and give Brian Hogan a chance to put it down the square.
Well, since the water break, Galway have got a goal and 3. Right now they are defending, and that's Shane Cooney coming across, making it his, sun into his eyes, all the way back out again. Tipperary have added some 5 points. And this driven away by Fintan Burke, all the way up towards his inside forward. That's great catch, wonderful take by Ronan Maher to get it out here. Swept away down as far as Jason Ford. Ford over his right shoulder, but he's put it the wrong side of the upright as well. And it's a missed opportunity for Jason Ford and Tipperary.
It's a bit unlike him, Jerry, you know, but these are all fill-ups for Galway now as well, and they'll be giving them that little bit of confidence. And Murphy looks like he's going long.
Liam Sheedy won't be pleased the fact that they have got 7 wides already in this match, and we haven't reached the half-hour mark just yet. Noel McGrath tried to pick that one up. In the end, it is helped. He is helped there by Barry Heffernan. McGrath eventually hitting it. Umpires have a look at it, and the white flag is going to go up again. He's having a very, very good match so far. Noel McGrath, his brother may be among the subs today, but he's very much definitely leaving an imprint on this game.
He is. He's much better out around the middle of the field as well, Jerry. He was inside in the corner earlier, said he looked a little bit sluggish. Around the middle, there's opportunity like that for the striking that he has to score points.
Aidan Hart up here, balanced on his stick there by Cathal Mannion. Kept in play, but only to the extent of giving it away. Jason Ford trying to come back and win that one was Michael Breen. Dan McCormack now, then it's Noel McGrath, has a man on his right-hand side. Here is Ford, up into the air it goes, And again, the man with the white flag reaches up for it. It's another one for 4. That's 4 points in all for him. 3 from frees, now 1 from play. And it is 2-8 to 1-10.
Yeah, more like it from Jason Ford there again. His feet nearly on the sideline. He just floated that in lovely with the breeze.
As you always expect in matches between these two, only a point between them. Aidan Hart once again knocking it downfield. Paddy Marr takes it into his right hand here, gets away from the challenge of Cathal Mannion, helped out by Noel McGrath, slung back there, and Brendan Marr playing in that pocket away over to the far side beyond Bonner Marr this time. A race for possession picked up here by Bonner, who got there ahead of Daithí Burke, tries to make a better angle, playing it back. An opportunity now for Alan Flynn to add to the point he got already in the game, and that's 2 for him.
It is Tipperary forwards are rotating. Jerry C. Bonner Marr there now is inside the full forward. Shamie Cannon has gone to left half forward, and they're just trying to keep that Galway defence guessing all of the time.
Level for the 4th time here in Limerick. All-Ireland quarter-final. Éanna Murphy for Galway. Into the middle of the field, not a particularly long puck out, but Conor Cooney's over there trying to make something of it, trying to challenge Alan Flynn, trying to steal that ball back, but Flynn doggedly holds on to it, looking for support. Eventually, Michael Breen going in, trying to take it, helped out here by Barry Heffernan. Heffernan taking off, about to be challenged by Cathal Mannion. On it runs, and that ball was under-hit in the end, and easily taken back by Aidan Hart of Galway. The loose player outside here is Shane Cooney. Cooney flicking it forward, and hoping it'll bounce nicely for him was Johnny Cohen. It's stuck in the mud, unfortunately, and an awkward bounce allows Brendan Maher to come back, get to it, all the way down towards Shamie Calden. Had a brilliant start to the game. Hart's after him. It's in here. Oh, ball saved and eventually cleared, or has it been? Oh, it's buried, absolutely buried, and it's Bonner Marr who's got it. Patrick Bonner Marr back in the championship action. A goal for Tipperary coming after 32 minutes.
It looked like the danger was gone. Éanna Murphy did a fantastic save, and then all of a sudden Shane Cooney just panicked. He just killed the ball there, gave Bonner the second opportunity there to put it in the net, and he wasn't going to miss from there. And you can see Shane Cooney there in the shot in the white helmet, banging the hurley off the ground. Galway looked like they had all the hard work done.
Tipperary are leading by 2-11 to 8 points. Wonderful contest so far. Niall O'Mara holding off the challenge of the Galway opponent, looking to link up over here. Michael Breen's available, 5 points last week, looking to get 1 today. What a very good spell this is in the match. Following that goal, a lovely point by Michael Breen, his first of the day, playing today in his 25th ever championship game. He was loose, he was all alone, and he finished it beautifully.
Tipper moved the ball
2-12 to
well,
2-8.
but Galway need to go short like this. I know it might go around the odd time, but they have to break Tipperary's momentum somehow.
Well, this time they've retained possession, managing to get that ball away out as far as Fintan Burke, the St. Thomas's player. Huge one downfield, gathering it in beautifully here. That's one of their goal scorers, Concannon, but the referee's got to bring the play back, and it's got to be a free in for a foul on Brian Concannon as he was going for that one there. Johnny Murphy from Limerick calling across. The cornerback, who's Cathal Barrett, so it looks like he's going to be getting a yellow card as well. Jake Morris got the first one some while ago, so a second yellow card for a Tipperary player and a free in for Galway.
Yeah, but Galway will need to do that, Ger, a little bit more there, especially when Tipperary get into a bit of flow. They need to work the ball out of their full back line. Tipper leaving 2 on 3 inside there, so there is opportunity just to have a bit of confidence to play it back up through the lines. Because going long, Tipperary, Brendan Maher sitting on the edge of the D. Remember, he's the one who set up the goal, so if you're wasteful in possession out there with a striker like him, he's going to hurt you going the other way.
7-8 minutes now since Galway scored, so it's Joe Canning who gets this one. Easy one for him, 5 on the day so far. So now 2-12 to 2-9, 3 between them. And this in the 35th minute. That was that effort a little while ago. From the puck out, way downfield. Jason Ford went across there, but it's David Burke who picks it up and hammers it from deep inside his own 45-metre line to a 2-man inside forward line, but there are lots of Tipperary players there waiting for it. Cathal Barrett is one of them. Hand passes it forward here. Michael Breen taking it in his stride. and that one's gone up, and it's gone. It's not Michael Breen, it's Niall O'Mara this time who gets it, his first point of the match.
David Burke did there, Jerry. You just simply can't do. You can't bang the ball down on top of the edge of the Tipperary D. They have loads of bodies down there, loads of skill to get you on the counter-attack. That's exactly what happened there.
So 1 minute of additional time now being played here, as that's hit out by Pádraig Mannion, out to the wings here. Again, Tipperary defiant, but that ball back once again, and there's another opportunity. Galway looking for a late score at the end of this first half. It was David Burke who was hitting that one. 5 wides against Galway, 2:13 to 2:9. Got another 30 seconds to be played. Puck out, right into the hands this time of Pádraig Mannion, the Galway captain. Fouled as he was taking it out there by Alan Flynn. No advantage allowed. Play fractured, and it's going to be another free. And once again, Joe Canning will come out to hit this one. Man who's playing against Tipperary for the 6th time in the championship, and just 2 wins so far in the previous 5.
Brian Hogan just overcooked that puck out a bit. Flynn was wide open, but the breeze just caught it and carried over his head, and gives Joe this opportunity. I don't see him going short here. Just aim towards the left-hand post and let the breeze bring it in will be the plan.
Well, let's see what will happen. 5 so far. All bar 1 from place balls. So this one, a long, long way from the target. And it's caught beautifully inside there, and there were a couple of players in the square as well. So square ball, what a brilliant catch by Brian Hogan, using his 6'6" frame. And I think the referee has got a call for the ball now, and that is it. It's been a highly entertaining, highly eventful opening half here. Tipperary will be mighty pleased to be going in at the break, leading by 4 points. We've had 4 goals, we've had lots of entertainment, lots of excitement as well, and it really is anybody's game in this All-Ireland quarter-final at the LIT Gaelic grounds here in Limerick. One of the goal scorers going off there, Cathal Mannion, and we'll be back with more of the action pretty soon. But at the break here, it is Galway 2 goals and 9 points, Tipperary 2 goals and 13. We'll be back after this.
Championship Hurling, the clash of the Ash, Helmet and Hurley at the ready. Centra, proud sponsors of the Hurling Championship.
Littlewoods Ireland, proud sponsor of the GAA Hurling Championship.
To quote Derek McGrath, as of about 5 minutes ago, you'd be exhausted watching that, and indeed we are, but what an opening half of hurling. It is Tipperary on top, 2:13 to 2:9. Noel McGrath getting 4 of their points, 1-1 for Cathal Mannion as well, and that opening half, this is very much anybody's game as we expected. We may as well remind people what happened in that absolute whirlwind of 35-36 minutes. So it all seemed to kick off with that goal from Seamie Callanan.
Yeah, I think Tip have come out of the traps very strong. Obviously, the first 10 minutes they took over, and that's the way Tip have played so far. They've played in kind of patches, so they started very well. Been a lot of sharp puck outs. Jason Ford, obviously the dominant player in that first 10 minutes was Seamie Callanan. I think Jason Ford was just trying to get this ball, have a shot. Just watch Daithí Burke just slips, critical moment. Here, the human hurler will probably take this on his right-hand side. He identifies Fintan Burke coming back in, and he pivoted lovely back into his left-hand side. So we've been talking about Seamie Callanan not being up to scratch and not scoring goals. Well, he started the match very, very strongly. And look at just the finish, just this side. Look, just in off the side of the post. Just exquisite.
Yeah, an assassin there, and I think we looked before the game to see would some of the bigger players step up to the mark, but that's been the nature of Tip. They started really well. Henry's right. Kind of they've had patches where they've kind of dominated, and then they came again, I suppose, in the latter half of the game. But
back did come go, and they looked really on top when they got those goals 2 in a row.
Yeah, Conor Whelan causing a bit of trouble coming out from the and the key thing about Galway is their setup, I suppose. David Burke is playing as a 7th defender, and they've been opening up Tipperary. They've got a bit of luck here with Joseph Cooney. Goes on to Conor Cooney, and Niall O'Mara shows a little bit of an inexperience here in terms of playing in the back line. He's sold very easily by just the dip of the shoulder by Cathal Mannion. Yeah, he was on the end line. He shouldn't be showing. He should be showing him just stand them up, basically. It was just way too easy. But brilliant finish again by Cathal Mannion near post. Brian Hogan didn't even see it flying past him, you know. And Galway have created a bit of space, ironically or contradictorily, by having David Burke back, if you like. And here's another example. Conor Cooney out in front. I think it's of Pádraig Maher. Just plays it down to himself. Knows if he recycles it lovely here across to Conor Whelan, causing a lot of trouble there for Ronan Maher for the 15-minute period. Pirouettes around lovely onto Brian Concannon, and he, great finish. No chance for Brian Hogan.
And again, watch out, Joanne, here. The interesting thing is that it's off his weak hand he passes the ball, so he opens his body up. But again, brilliant finish by Brian Concannon.
And about 30 seconds out from that, Derek McGrath said there's a goal here. There's absolutely a goal coming from Galway here. And sure enough, he was dead right. So at that stage, Galway looked to be on top. Tip started to work their way back in, and they got it to within 3 points, and bang, back of the net yet again, and from the man who has made an impact since he returned from injury.
Yeah, no, it's great to see Bonner. Obviously, he's coming back from his cruciate. He's had a very difficult period, but I think he was a big plus to have him back last week, and he's been working very hard. Again, Jake Morris, again, just not on their minds only these forwards going for goals. A good saying by Ian Murphy. Coy could have got it out of danger area better. As Brendan identified, Shane Cooney should have killed that ball. It was a little bit of a mistake. But I think that's the brilliance of this match, is that we've brilliant pieces of skill, we've lots of mistakes. But to be fair to Bonner, what we always associate him with, working, never giving up. Here he's on a break, again, low into the bottom corner. So, Joanne, we've had 4-15 from play. That's what we've had. So that's what I'm saying. One of my friends is on WhatsApp there giving out about showing replays, because there's been so much goal amount activity. It's been brilliant.
Yeah, we're running out of ink here with our pens. And remember, what was it, 2 weeks ago, that they were complaining there weren't enough goals in this championship? Well, plenty today, and we've a feeling a few more to come. We'll have the second half coming up shortly. First of all, another chance for you to win with our competition.
The Sunday Game have teamed up with Faith Leg to give one lucky viewer the chance to win a relaxing getaway in County Waterford. You and a guest will enjoy a 2-night stay in a master deluxe room, complete with breakfast each morning and dinner on one evening in the Roseville Rooms restaurant. You'll also enjoy a round of golf for two on their championship golf course, followed by an hour of pure relaxation with an Elemis treatment of your choice. All, of course, once restrictions are lifted and it is safe to do so. For more, visit faithleg.com. Plus, there's €1,000 spending money too. If you'd like to be in with a chance to win this great prize, answer this question. Kerry made an early exit from football.
The Leinster football final between Dublin and Meath. Another double-header tomorrow, Cork versus Tipperary in the Munster football final, followed by Donegal against Cavan in the Ulster final. Join us from 1 o'clock. And Des and the lads have the whole weekend covered on the Sunday Game from 9:30 tomorrow. So it is Tipperary leading in Limerick by 2 goals and 13 points to 2 goals and 9 at half-time. Apparently the management team for Tipperary down in the sideline was in deep consultation throughout that entire half and started moving all the forwards around. We saw Noel McGrath really come into it. Is that due to his movement and his placement among that forward line?
Yeah, well, look, it's great to see a great player flowing again. I think he visibly struggled in the last couple of games, so it's great to see him moving as well as he has. And he's played in a variety of positions. So probably Eamon O'Shea stamp. He's played at 13, he's played at 11, he's been midfield. But it's great to see him flowing as well as he has at the moment, if you like. So he's located himself in various positions during the first half. And look, he's lovely touches here. Just played a beautiful touchdown from Jason Ford. Pop back to him again, and he's in the position, and he only needs a half a second to lean back on that wrist to throw it over the bar.
Yeah, and this is, I think this one that's coming up is, no, this is again, Derek talked about his wrist, just over his shoulder, just over the black spot. And as Derek said, his reference is into the flow, and I love this one here. It's just, it comes to him quickly here, just touches it out. Look at the quick hands, just beautiful hands over there. So he's had a big part to play in the game, and it's going to be interesting to see if his brother now starts to come on, because it's a free scoring game. Does John McGrath come in and add some impetus off the bench?
Yeah, his sort of game, and he'll certainly be looking for goals as well, because we know he does love to get those. Not such a big fan of the points. Interestingly enough, both of you felt that David Burke played a hugely significant role for Galway in that opening half, particularly where they were on top. He's been taken off for the second half.
Yeah, interesting move. I'd imagine we're speculating, I suppose, that there may be some sort of injury. For that 20-minute period, I suppose, between probably the 12th minute and the the 32nd minute, David Burke began to dominate. Interesting enough, Tipperary's approach actually reminded me of their approach against Wexford here last year, where they seemed to push Niall O'Mara, Barry Heffernan, from the middle of the field. They seemed to push on almost up on top of the sweeper, if you like, and probably again Eamon O'Shea hallmark in terms of pushing right up and creating that space. So that's what seemed to happen. Obviously those things are speculated about, but David Burke definitely was a big influence in that 20-minute period in the middle of the first half.
I'm just wondering, are they going to push up completely, So is that what they're going to do? Tui's back there now, and they're going to just come on, because Derek Wright, the tip half backline really took over. Galway went along with a few puckouts like they did here last week against Kilkenny. They just weren't winning. They're winning all the sharp ones, but the long ones they're really struggling. And Tip just really powered on at that stage. So it'll be very interesting to see what Galway come with, because Joseph Cooney was one man involved in 2 or 3 of the goals. And he's playing wing back. He's following Dan McCormack all over the place. So he ended up wing forward a good few times. He got a point himself, and 2 of the goals came off him striking, getting blocked down. So Jason Finlay is in as well. He had a great opportunity here last week to score a goal for Galway. So, you know, we're mad looking for goals, and here we have 4 of them so far. So I think it's the one who's going to get 3 or 4 goals is probably going to win this game.
Well, isn't it interesting, actually, because Galway have conceded those couple of goals, having the extra man back in defence. So, like, what way do you see them doing this? Are they going to go, do you agree that they're going to go more like what Henry says? How are the 2 teams going to shore up those defences? Because presumably whoever keeps out the goals is the one who's going to come out on top.
Yeah, it's the key word, or Joanne, that anyone tries to strike, I suppose, is balance, you know. If Galway push on completely, they're going to, you know, they're susceptible, I feel like, to the break, the Bonner and the boys breaking against us. So they'll be trying to get the balance right. If they're
are they willing to do that? Are they willing to do that as long as they score more?
I think they will, and I think they'll be conventional enough. They might just sit their 6 back. There's no real difference between all the teams of how they're playing. I'll imagine they'll try and mind the house, but yeah, push on.
OK, I hope you've plenty of caffeine in you for this second half as we head back to Limerick and join Brendan and Ger.
Thank you very much indeed, Joanne. So those 2 changes, Jason Flynn and Adrian Tui coming on, and David Burke and Johnny Cohen, the 2 players who've been replaced at half-time. So 4 points the margin.
2 assassins are gone to the edge of the square. Conor Whelan and Cod Cannon are inside, and the Tipperary full backs.
Well, it's anybody's match. 4 points between the teams. A place in the All-Ireland semi-final at stake. So away we go, and it's immediately Galway trying to get off to a very, very bright start here. Four points down, start of the second half. Noel McGrath standing over this one here, having scored 4 points in a very, very satisfactory opening 35 from his point of view. Catches it beautifully, floats in there, nicely done. That was Jason Ford trying to make something of it, bottled up, as you can see, by several defenders. Down he goes, and the referee has blown the whistle, and it's going to be a free in for Tipperary.
Jason thought there that the free came a little bit too late, but when the ball came in, you can see Jason's fantastic work from Jason Ford. That's the drive that Tipperary people want to see from him. Put his body between the defender and the ball, and won that line ball, and turned straight, and has earned this tap-over opportunity for himself.
And this will be first of the second half, and it will be his 5th point in all in the match. So now 2-14 to 2-9. Perfect start for the second half from a Tipperary point of view. Place in the semi at stake. And again, it is O'Mara getting that ball back, and the referee signals again that it's going to be...
Hit Johnny Murphy on the head there. He's keeping up with the play, is what he'll be saying.
Didn't have too far to come, of course. He's a Limerick official, Johnny Murphy. Out come Tipperary with this one. O'Mara playing it out here as far as Brendan Maher. Hit into space, but there's nobody waiting for it there. It's Padraig Mannion, who's the Galway captain. Downfield, an opportunity for Jason Flynn immediately to try and get something out of this, and he's put it the wrong side of the post.
And that's why Jason Flynn has been brought in. I think he's probably more of a scoring threat.
6 wides by Galway in this match. Tipperary goes short out here as far as Paddy Maher. And Maher ready to try and break away from the challenge there. Drive it back down inside towards Dan McCormack. Dan trying to dispossess Joseph Cooney. Gets it up onto the stick. Good play by Dan, getting it back there as far as Alan Flynn, scorer of 2 points in the first half. This time coming out there, the quarterback Shane Cooney. Shane was fouled. Free out for Galway, and they want to get going. They're the team behind by 5 points at this stage. All the way across over here towards Cathal Mannion. A goal and a point in the first half for him. Looking at the target, and he puts it wide.
He's complaining out there. He's looking at the linesman, but I think it was wide all right. There should be no doubt when he gets those opportunities. It's knockout championship hurling with the breeze and you're 5 points down. They have to stick.
Hogan's puck out here. Again, taking it down here, Niall O'Mara. We were anticipating that he might play in the forwards, but he's been playing just about everywhere and anywhere in the middle third. Again, trying to get that one is Conor Cooney for Galway. Stalemate situation. Linesman across over there is Sean Clear from Kilkenny. Ends up being a line ball, which Joe Canning will take. Scorer of 5 points in the first half. 4 of them from frees, 1 from open play. Well, the sun is in his eyes. A couple of runs being made towards him. Adrian Toohey was offering him an alternative route towards goal. Knocks it in instead, but the wrong side of the post. I think he was probably blinded by the sun that time.
Yeah, he just didn't catch it at all, but he was looking. He knew that he didn't want to hit the ball wide. No willing runner from Galway. He had to have a go, and they're tricky ones there, the way that breeze and all is.
8 wides by Galway. Great catch by Michael Breen, scorer in the first half. Breen lets fly with brilliant accuracy. A second one for Michael Breen. Another one for Tipperary.
That's what Michael Breen gives as well. Look at the reach over there, and McInerney was coming in to try to take the hand off him, just pulled it down, and that's one thing as well about Michael Breen. His shooting is very, very good. He's on again.
Anna Murphy over here, contained well by Brendan Maher. Forward once again, but the Galway backs are out quickly. Aidan Hart slipping the little hand pass across here. And they wind up for a shot, which Cathal Mannion is hitting, looking at his handiwork now, and well he might. That's a goal and 2 points now. Brilliantly done by Cathal Mannion.
Yeah, he needed that for a bit of his confidence as well. He's a fantastic striker of the ball. He hit that with complete conviction there.
Brian Hogan, the 24-year-old from Loradora. Again, contained here by the Galway players, and winning that one there was Adrian Toohey. A battle-hardened Adrian Toohey there, winning the free. Joe Canning will come across and take it.
Yeah, again, breaking the tackle well. Liam Sheedy was very animated there, felt he might have taken a few too many steps. At the same time, he was fouled the second time round then.
Shane O'Neill and the opposing manager, Liam Sheedy, busy on the sideline. Going through the agony of the damned, I'm sure, as well, as they try to see their team through to the All-Ireland semi-finals. Joe Canning, 5 points in the first half. Well, he's well inside his own 65, visualizing where this one may end up, and it ends up right where he intended to, over the bar and between the uprights. First of the second half, and a 6th for Joe Canning.
Again, a very, very good strike from Joe there.
4 points the margin. Brian Hogan out here as far as Alan Flynn, flicking it across over here, contained nicely by Barry Heffernan, elegantly striking this one forward into the inside forwards there, broken down. Trying to get it onto it here was Patrick Bonner-Marr, one of the goal scorers in the first half for Tipperary. But Galway have that situation under control. All the way down it comes, this time towards Conor Whelan, takes on his man, Ronan Maher. Whelan contained, held back, and no question about the free in from the 20-metre line.
It's exactly the scenario that Shane O'Neill would have wanted. The ball popped in front of Whelan, asking the question then of the Tipperary defender. Ronan Maher, can see him, he's pulling him back there. He had very, very little choice, because when Whelan turns around and gets inside your shoulder and sets sail, he's only goal on his mind. It's tough now for Ronan, because this yellow card here puts him in a bit of danger territory for another ball that drops in like that.
Little bit of aggro breaking out in the background. That's why Johnny Murphy that time just held off the note-taking. But all calm and peace has been restored. Conor Whelan is certainly one of those corner forwards that can cause all kinds of problems to defenders, and has been doing so. So a yellow card has been issued to Ronan Maher. That's Cathal Barrett, Ronan Maher now, and Jake Morris for Tipperary, all on yellow cards. Joe Canning with 6 points so far. And this will put just 3 between the teams. Studiously taking note of the angle, making absolutely certain that gets up and over the crossbar. It does, and the 32-year-old satisfied with his handiwork. It's 2:15 to 2:12. Tipperary continuing to lead. wind supporting Galway for the second 35 minutes. From this puck out, dropped down here by Alan Flimby, got enough on it the second time to Dan McCormack, eyeing up the target now. Dan looks good from here. It's a beauty. First of the day for Dan McCormack, playing in his 24th ever championship match. So they go point for point, and it's 216 to 212.
Great puck out again from Brian Hogan. He's not going long, hanging it in the air. He's arrowing the balls out and giving Tipperary forwards an opportunity to get onto it.
Anna Murphy over there looking for Conor Cooney. Referee's whistle sounds, however, and
Brendan Maher again, swooping down. He was being held by Conor Cooney, but just caught behind him there. Brendan never going to let the ball behind him, so Galway need to sort out their puck out. Tipperary seem to have gotten it together. Kilkenny-like, I suppose, in the way they're trying to work the ball out.
Goalkeeper coming out to take this one. It's Brian Hogan who's going to take it. Well, after all the wretched weather we've had, the problem today for the players has been the blinding, dipping low sunlight. One thing they hate. Brian Hogan has never scored in the championship. This is his 15th time to play at this level. He's going to give it a go. Travelling, moving in, but gone the wrong side of the post. Stays at 216 to 212. 8 wides by Tipperary. Both sides trying to pick it up again to the same level that they had in the first half. That's nicely forward here by Adrian Toohey. And then the final effort is a very, very good one. Another fine, convincing shot there from the middle of the park. Beautifully over, and it's Cathal Mannion with a goal and 3.
Much better puck out there. And when Mannion gets that chance to plant his feet around that middle third of the pitch, but it all came from good distribution from Aidan Murphy and goals for Galway.
Michael Breen trying to hold his footing there. He's up against Garoyd McInerney. McInerney wins that, gives it out to Aidan Hart, dropping it across over there. Awkward one to take for Brian Concannon. Going backwards the whole time, unable to contain it. Ends up being a puck out for Tipperary. So just those 3 points between the teams. Shane O'Neill looking to engineer a victory for his side, take him through to the All-Ireland semi-final. Missed hit there by Aidan Hart, helped out in his quest to get it away by Joseph Cooney. Down there, the other number 7 is Paddy Maher. The indestructible Maher gets it forward as far as Barry Heffernan in from the outset. And using his goalkeeper this time. So Hogan takes off. His dad in the past did it many a time in the colours of Tipperary, all the way into the corner towards Seamus Callan, unable to keep it in play, however.
Shane will be crossed to the ball, wasn't put in front of him. He had made a fantastic run out to the side. Galway as well, Gerard, that last Tipperary puck out. They've pushed up, that's why Brian Hogan had to go along. First to Shane O'Neill, he sent the message down that we can't have Tipperary playing out from the back.
Pádraig Mannion ready to take this sideline ball, was among the scorers when last these teams met in the championship. That was back in 2017. Operating in midfield, and that time the referee saw a foul committed. End result is going to be a free for Tipperary.
Jason Ford was coming back there, but it seems now that looks like Ronan Maher is going to be the man.
Ronan Maher playing in his 29th ever championship game, given his debut 6 years ago against Galway. Lobbing it forward here into space. Callan ready to take off, get away from the fullback. An expansive run, a big angle taken up. Will it make it? It will. It's a terrific score by Seamus Callan to the go with the goal he got after 4 minutes of play. He just took off here, took the fullback with him, then made a very good angle for himself.
First touch is the key there, but again, it's outrageous striking the ball into that bit of a breeze there, faced his own goals.
Pádraig Mannion for Galway, looking to respond immediately. Batted back out again off the stick of Paddy Maher. Helped out there. And in the end, the referee again sees a foul committed. Free to Tipperary. 2:17 to 2:13. 4 between them. Goalkeeper is going to take this.
Big few minutes for Galway as well here, Ger. 47, 48 minutes in. They need to get better supply of ball inside to their inside forwards. Haven't been working it well at all the last few minutes.
And it's Galway who are gobbling this one up. Pádraig Mannion at his ease, looking to see what's the optimum place to put this. Big gap between half forwards and inside forwards. Galway exploiting that. Conor Whelan with the space now, ready to take on his man. Awkward angle. It's a terrific score by Conor Whelan. His first point of the match so far on his 29th championship game. There's where he got away completely from Ronan Maher. Look at the angle that confronted him, slotting it over his shoulder and over the bar. A 3-point game again. Galway coming one more time. Adrian Toohey this time, half-time substitute, and he just doesn't make it.
No, you can see as the ball flew wide, you can see Cannon and Conor Whelan inside, hands out going. Will you put the ball in front of us? Look what happens when it goes into the edge of the D. Trust us.
10 wides by Galway. It's a lot. Brian Hogan's puck out into the inside forwards here, hoping that it'll stick this time. But it's Galway there in numbers again. Fintan Burke trying to get to it, but Galway steal it back, pinch it there through Niall O'Mara, angling this one across. Here's an opportunity maybe, Barry Heffernan advancing. And what a very good score that is. Only his 3rd ever point in championship hurling in his 9th game at this level. He stole forward here into the D. Nice crisp delivery, 218 to 214.
Great puck out again. We saw it in Croke Park last week to Johnny Cohen there from Éanna Murphy. We've seen it here now in the Gaelic grounds. This time it's Mannion who's getting on it. Tipperary half forward line had just switched off ever so slightly, ghosted in around the back. High challenge gives Joe this opportunity now.
Looking for his 3rd point of the second half and his 8th in all. Giving himself every possible opportunity. Calmly summing up the angle. He's done it so many times in the past. It wavers a little bit but comes in beautifully inside that left-hand upright. That's point number 8 so far. 218 to 215. There's little between these two teams. Change now being made, and coming in here is the number 19, and the player going off is going to be Patrick Bodder-Marr. So Willie Connors comes in.
Same type of player, I suppose, as Bodder-Marr. Robust, no mistake.
Played very well in the last game. Will have been disappointed perhaps not to have started indeed. Referee blows his whistle.
Little lapse of concentration from Alan Flynn there, working the ball out. Was caught in 2 minds. And if you're down on that pitch, you're caught in 2 minds, they'll swarm around you and take it off you. You see him coming out, just never really got the hand pass away. Indecision.
And a chance now, chance now to make it a 2-point game, Brendan. And that man, Joe Canning, standing over it.
Slowly but surely, Jared Galway have come back and said after 47 minutes they need to get some bit of a foothold. They've got a fair grip now again.
Again, hitting with care and with accuracy, rarely misses. 9 for him so far. And the referee now giving the players a timeout, a chance to take a 1-minute break here. There's only 2 points between the teams, as you can see. Tipperary 218, Galway 216. Brendan, it really is anybody's match.
It absolutely is, and it was slipping a little bit away from Galway in the first 12 minutes of the second half, because they were letting Tipperary have the puck out. They were letting Tipperary tap it around the field and create opportunity themselves. But then suddenly they pushed up, and when they pushed up, then Tip had to go long. And when Tip go long, then it's coming down on top of Coney and the half-back line, Garrod, McInerney, Fintan Burke, all the big guns that Galway will want on the ball. But still, Jared, there's another goal or two, I think, in this, because the inside forwards are still absolutely lethal. Mannion is staying inside. You can see Shamie Cannon's point. You know, he was crossed to Brian Hogan earlier because that opportunity was there, but this time you can see him there, full concentration, full balance, off the left foot, back over the shoulder. Galway defenders are doing everything they can to force him away from goal. You can see the flight of the ball into a breeze and just over the bar. And again, inside, you know, Conor Whelan, for me, I love him playing in the full forward line. He gives you this, he's low to the ground, he's already drawn a yellow card out of Ronan Maher when the ball goes in, but the responsibility is to get the ball in right to him, and that's how you win championship matches. You do all the work outside, Jared, to get the ball into the shooters.
Well, the score since half-time, Galway with 7 points, Tipperary with 5 points. And it really is anybody's match at this stage, and a place in the All-Ireland semi-finals at stake. Two of the heavy hitters here, the defending All-Ireland champions, Tipperary, up against the side who were All-Ireland champions just a couple of years ago in Galway. Joe Canning, one of those centrally involved, 9 points so far. Brian Hogan, the Tipperary goalkeeper.
Galway are all up again, Ger, on Tipperary. He's going to have to go along with this.
And that he does. Now let's see how they manage to retain it, if they can indeed. Coming across for Galway was Gearóid McInerney. Helping out here, Niall O'Mara, ready to try and steal inside. Back there went Pádraig Mannion. Mannion taking it up, the Galway captain, right across the face of goal. Difficult one. Calnan was trying to win it back, almost got there. Instead, it's Galway who can break again here. It's Cathal Mannion. Back outside it comes. An opportunity for the fullback, Dahi Burke. Down he goes and into the inside forward line. And the player going down this time is Brian Concannon. Cathal Barrett protesting his innocence. Cathal, who's been yellow carded already in the match.
Dahi Burke did the right thing there, to be fair. Cannon is the shooter, and it's
a red card.
It's a red card for
Cathal Barrett has been sent off on 2 yellow cards after 52 minutes of play.
Yeah.
Tipperary down to 14. How significant will that be?
Very much so. You can see Cathal there, the hurley slapped down the back of the shoulder of the Cannon. So it's a yellow card, and it's a big blow for Tipperary. But all came from Dahi Burke bursting through the middle of the pitch. Normally a guy would panic, but not him. It's hard look on Cathal there going out of the game. But this gives Galway a fair fill-up now, and a tap-over free.
And a 10th indeed for Joe Canning. So now the scoreline, 2-18 to 2-17. Now who's going to win it? And straight away some remedial action being taken. And in comes John McGrath.
For Noel.
And Noel, the player who is going to make way. Brother for brother. Well, John McGrath had a very unhappy time in the last round of the championship, went off before half-time, but we know what a brilliant player he is, and right now Tipperary need him. They're hanging on by the minimum.
Brendan Maher in the full back line now to take over Cathal Barrett's role.
Well, he's a resourceful player who can play in so many different positions, but his influence will be missed in the half line as Cathal Mannion is shouldered out over there, and the linesman Sean Clear with his flag raised. And the end result,
Galway player down the middle of the pitch as well.
Paddy Maher ready to hit this one. Well, now it's up to the big Tipperary players to stand up there and make up for the loss of Cathal Barrett. They really are up against it.
Galway could be down a player or two here. I'm not too sure, Ger, who that is on the ground. We saw Dahi Burke's great catch there, but it wasn't him. It could have... Looks like a shoulder injury out there. But either way, this will give Tipperary the opportunity to kind of, I suppose, get their feet, have a look around, see who's marking who, and try to see who Galway have at the spare man at the back.
Well, the medics are out to have a look here to see what happened. It seems that maybe Cathal Mannion is the player who was involved.
Yeah.
That's Dahi Burke taking it out, and I think it's Mannion who's down.
It is. It's always a danger when a guy goes down kind of on his own out there. You're always afraid it could be a knee or something. Hopefully, he looks like he's going to be okay to continue. He's a little bit shook.
He certainly does look a little shaken, but he continues to lead Galway.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect anything less from a warrior like him out there, and he seems to be moving quite freely as well there now.
Gives the team wonderful leadership, the captain. After that, sideline cut to be taken. Hit in by Paddy Maher. A crossover here, broken down. The 14 men of Tipperary really up against it now in the remaining minutes of this game. There's a good 16 minutes still to go. There could, of course, be extra time as well, should it be required.
Jason Ford again there did a lot of the dirty work. It's one thing being a fantastic striker of the ball. It's another thing being prepared to bend your back like that, get your body in the way, take the little nudge.
Every scoring opportunity now, as you know only so well, Brendan, so vital for both of these teams. And this free has been brought forward here. The referee, Johnny Murphy from Limerick, saying bring it inside the 45-metre line, making it a touch easier for Jason Ford. And for a player of his stature, this should end up going over that Galway crossbar. He's already scored 5 times in this match. First 3 of those all from frees. This to stretch the lead for Tipperary. He has done it. 6 for him.
Interesting now to see, Ger, what Galway are going to do with the puck out. They have a spare man there now in the back line. Are they going to work it, or are they going to go long?
Pádraig Mannion was making himself available, so too Dahi Burke. Now there is Mannion across the receiver here.
They've done it well. They've played it well to here now.
Now chance to sum up what's the next course of action. Diagonally across over here. Paddy Maher was over there trying to win it for Tipperary, trying to advance Fintan Burke for Galway. An opportunity in here. Well, it was a Conor Cooney who was advancing on goal there, and the goalkeeper came out resourcefully, did enough to hold up the point of the attack here. And Tipperary fortunate to get away with that one.
Where time stood still for that second, Gerald, when the ball came in. Fantastic pass. Cooney just couldn't get it under his spell, we'll say, and Brian Hogan did really, really well to close him down. He's a big man to have coming out on top of you. He's always in your eye line, in fairness to Cooney. That's what happened there.
Well, 6 foot 6 inches, Brian Hogan, goalkeeper, doing remarkably well there. Joe Canning will be the one who will hit this one. We've seen him hit them over the bar in the past. Now, has he?
Yep.
Can he do it? He's done it again. Oh, it's an amazing shot. 11 points now. A mix of play, freeze, and a sideline now from Joe Canning. It's swept in beautifully.
Perfect angle there, Jerry. We saw it. It's a fantastic skill. He just does it so often we kind of take it for granted, but go down to your local field and put a ball down from there and see can you do it. He does it more often than not. Conor Cooney now coming out as well.
Sean Loftus is coming in, and there's another change as well, I think. And Sean is, who's the other player coming in? It's Evan Nyland.
Evan Nyland's come in for Conor Cooney.
Anybody's match, it really is. That's hit there by Dan McCormack over towards the right corner forward position, but taken in well by Shane Cooney, trying to get around the man in front of him, Seamus Calden, and get that ball away out of danger. 1 point the margin. Tipperary in front of Galway. Held on to here by the man who's just come in, John McGrath. He really will want to make a big impression now in the remaining 12 minutes of this match. There could be extra time, as we mentioned. Line ball coming up, and it's going to be Jason Ford who will take it. Score of 6 points already in the game.
Wouldn't put it past him either, Gerard.
He's well capable of it. So after Joe Canning put a sideline over, Jason Ford trying to repeat the feat up into the air, but going the wrong side of the post this time. And that's wide number 9 for Tipperary. Another change about to be made. So Paddy Cadell comes in, and Niall O'Mara finishes his afternoon here on the bench. Well, these are very good subs to be able to bring in for Tipperary. Willie Connors and Paddy Cadell did really well in the last match, and John McGrath will want to show everybody and remind everybody just what a wonderful player he is. Pressure on. Taken out of danger here, foul committed. That was Paddy Cadell.
It's great to get a first touch like that for Paddy Cadell, to come onto a ball like that and win a free for the young man. See him coming out here, he's bursting straight out. He just spear hand tackle again from Cannon there.
Just over 10 minutes to go. Paddy Maher hitting this one out into his forwards. A great catch, brilliantly done. That is Alan Flynn hitting that one, but the wrong side of the post, unable to add to the 2 points he got earlier on in the match. Well, he's played everywhere in the championship. Cornerback, midfield, everywhere and anywhere.
He's a fantastic player out there. His heart as big as a lion.
Anna Murphy pucking this one out. Possession so vital. And the man who's got it is Paddy Maher. Down along the line here, trying to keep it in play, and succeeding in doing so there was Jason Ford. Anybody's ball in there, rolled up onto the stick beautifully by Aidan Hart. Clipped back out here towards Joseph Cooney. Cooney then ready to try and get that ball away. Very, very clever play on his part, getting it back to Cathal Mannion, down into the inside forward line. Slipping and sliding in there was Brian Concannon. Goalkeeper able to take it. Brian Hogan, nicely out, helped out by Ronan Maher. Beautifully forward here. This time it's Alan Flynn again. He's playing a great game. Tipperary, a point in front of Galway. Looking to try and make it a 2-point lead. Not with that particular attack. Easily taken in by Daithí Burke. Switched across over here. And that's Pádraig Mannion, the team captain, for the 15 against the 14. looking to try and keep this going. Garrod McInerney still going forward, needing to try and keep it in play now, just about, still racing after it. Brian Concannon over there, and in the end the referee saw a push, and it'll be a free against him, and it'll be a free for Tipperary.
City foul there. Ronan thinking in the corner coming across is going nowhere. McInerney did extremely well this far up the pitch, and then there's the nudge in the back from Ronan. Concannon was facing right into the terrace. There was no need to give Joe Canning this opportunity in a game that's of such tight, fine margins.
He's got 11 points so far. Looking now to see if he can level the match once again. The angle looks prohibitive, but you never know, not with this man. Has it got inside the upright? Has it what?
Good free.
12 points for Joe Canning. Another remarkable performance. 2:19 to 2:19, 8 minutes to go, level for the 5th time. Puck out for Brian Hogan of Tipperary. Now who's going to win it, and will it be won in normal time? It's anybody's match. It's a gripping encounter, and here comes John McGrath. McGrath looking at his handiwork, and now is the time to strike. Now is the time to come up with a really good point.
Willie Connors did really well there. We talk about his work rate in industry, but Willie Connors is well able to do that as well, as he's seen throughout the championship.
Puck out by Anna Murphy, all the way back down again into open space. And going back to try and get this one is Paddy Cadell. As far as Paddy Maher. Driven down along the wings here. Porrick Mannion waiting for it, comes up kindly for him. Diagonally across over here. Taking up a very good position is Aidan Hart. He's played in so many different positions for Galway over the years, but that time drops short. Brian Hogan able to get it away, out of danger, out as far as Jake Morris. Down into the inside forwards one more time it comes, but they lose it. They're unable to retain it, and there was Jason Ford. Battling against him is Shane Cooney. John McGrath was coming in to try and put a bit of pressure on, and the referee says it was a foul committed by the defender, Shane Cooney. On the sideline, they're not too happy.
No, they're not. Shane O'Neill is in because he knows the significance of all these things. This free could put Tipperary 2 clear. And the ref is his hand up there looking for the ball. There might be an overturn. He's had a chat with his linesman.
Well, what is he going to do? He's got to throw it in, Brendan. You're right.
He had a chat with the linesman who came in.
2:20 to 2:19. Tipperary still by the minimum here in this All-Ireland hurling quarter-final. Coming to you from Limerick. Again, it'll be thrown in by Johnny Murphy, the referee from County Limerick. 6 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. Will it be resolved in normal time? It was 2:13 to 2:9 at half-time, with Tipperary winning. That's Seamus Calden. Oh, he's given that ball away badly. Given the ball away to Evan Nyland, and Tipperary eventually able to win the ball back.
Cadell again. He's a robust young man. When he gets the ball, he's going to pick a shoulder and try to come out with it.
More changes for Tipperary as we watch this in reprise one more time. And Tipperary's number 20, that's Paul Flynn, coming in. The player he's going to replace is Jason Ford.
Jason Ford's put in a good shift there. The Tipperary bench applauding him off.
6 points by Jason Ford, his tally. Will we be seeing him again? Possibly in extra time. You never know with this match. 5 minutes to go in the All-Ireland quarter-final, live from Limerick. It's Ronan Maher who's striking it up into the air and over the bar. Point by Ronan Maher, the fullback from the free, making it 2:21 to 2:19. Galway 2 behind.
Fantastic score from Ronan Maher. See what Galway have to come with next. They're going long again on the puck out, even though they bodies at the back.
Anna Murphy all the way downfield. Brian Concannon, a goal after 19 minutes. That's his only score in the match so far. 3 Tipperary backs against him. Gives it back out here. A little block on it there as Joe Canning was hitting it. And Galway win it back once, or Tipperary win it back one more time. Tried to get it away. Galway fight back, however. Concannon once more. Slips past a number of challenges. The referee is allowing an advantage. Over it comes here. Adrian Toohey waiting. Slipping it across. An opportunity to score. What a goal! What a goal! Aidan Hart, of all people, up with the attack. His second ever championship goal. He was in the clear and he hit it razor-like in along the goal area and past the goalkeeper, and it's 3:19 to 2:21.
They worked it really, really well, Gerard, to get it to Aidan Hart, and a cool head. We've talked about Conor Whelan and Concannon. Aidan Hart is just as much of an assassin inside there. Fantastic finish. Now, what'll Tip have to come with next?
It's really anybody's match. An incredible quarter-final. Everything you normally expect between these two. Remember, 3 years running they played in semi-finals, and there was a point between the teams each time.
It is, and the momentum switch has come now, and it's a big free for Joe here. If he can get this one over the bar to stretch it out to 3 points. It's done.
Joe with 12 points so far. It's a 1-point game right now. From right in the centre of the ground, Breeze behind him. He's scored 12 so far. And he's got it spot on. Rarely misses. Very well taken free by Joe Canning for Galway. So 3:20 to 2:21. Huge scoring, as per usual, when Galway and Tipperary are in action against one another. But it's far from finished. Brian Hogan pucking it out. Tip will have to try and win it now and do something with it. Here comes Dan McCormack. McCormack. Oh, a very awkward angle for McCormack, but he managed to put it over the bar, which is the important thing. And that's 2 points for him, another for Tipperary. And once again, there's very, very little between the teams.
There isn't, Jaron. There's loads to go on this. Like, there's 2 minutes left on the clock, maybe another couple of minutes of injury time. We've had a huge amount of subs. There could be 5-6 minutes left of this game yet.
1-point game from the puck out. Galway trying to win it and hold on to it. Joe Canning waiting, picking it up, ready to take off past a couple of Tipperary defenders. Joe Canning in full flight. They're trying to stop him. Resourcefully across over here. Jason Flynn coming onto it. Second half substitute for Galway, and he's found the range perfectly. So only score of the match, but it could be a vital one.
It is fantastic awareness there from Joe Canning. He knew that there was 4 or 5 Tip defenders on him. He just flicked the ball out into space, and that man Flynn was on it. So great composure. There's nothing simple now coming down the home straight and knockout hurling, Ger.
Great catch there by Paul Flynn. Flynn taking off, a little hand pass intended there for Dan McCormack, didn't quite materialise. Loads and loads of Galway players there to try and win it back. They have the numerical advantage as well, of course, since the sending off of Cathal Barrett on 2 yellow cards, and they're in full flow now, Galway, and that one, is it inside the left-hand upright? It is. Sean Loftus scoring.
The full back line are absolutely flying. Loftus on one side, Aidan Hart is scoring goals. Galway have a big push on here, a great score.
Galway so disappointed to have lost the Leinster final last week, and the manner in which they lost it, the concession of those 2 goals inside a minute. They were determined to come back in the quarter-final and show what they're really made of, as if we didn't already know. But right now it's Tipperary who are in a battle, a goal behind. They're attacking, and it's Seamus Callanan. They need a goal from somewhere. He's fouled, 20 metres out, free in for Tipperary. There's still time. We're in the 70th minute, but as per usual, you would expect 3-4 minutes of stoppage time to be played.
Yeah, yellow card coming up here. The Galway player Adrian Toohey wrapped the 2 arms around Callanan. You can see him there. He's just waiting, feeling to see, yeah, that's it, I have to pull you down. As I said, it's a part of our game which you don't like to see, but it's for another day. But it gives Tipperary the chance now to get it within 2 points. I think Brian Hogan's up. He might be going low.
Well, that I think is the obvious.
Has to go for it.
He has to.
He
hasn't come all the way up the field here just for the sake of a little bit of exercise.
He got up a little faster than I thought.
Since that last water break, Tipperary with 4 points, but Galway with a goal and 6. Galway making another change, but all eyes right now are going to be on this man here, the tall figure of goalkeeper Brian Hogan, looking to try and beat the full opposing defence including goalkeeper Anna Murphy. Remember, they're a goal behind, looking to try and score here. Can he bring the game level in stoppage time? Brian Hogan in his 15th championship match, looking to score. Oh, it's gone off the Galway sticks and got up over the bar. There's still 2 points between them.
It's a fair shot from Brian Hogan, to be fair. Knows it. Éanna Murphy, yeah, the goalkeeper for Galway, got the hurley on it, and I think he's the one who got it over the bar. No, it was the defender beside him on the line was the one. Either way, Galway keep it out and survive.
At least 3 minutes of additional time, we are told, but we are already well into the second minute of that. Defending here for Tipperary, and bringing that ball away with determination. Brendan Maher into the middle of the park here. Michael Breen stumbling. Galway looking to try and hold on to it. Tipperary need the ball. They've got to get it forward. They're adrift at this stage. They're coming again here with Paddy Maher, playing it forward to Dan McCormack. Tipperary now trying to attack, looking to try and level the match. And that ball, he was fouled. It's got to be a free in.
Yeah.
So another opportunity, but they're running out of time. Only about a minute still to go of the stoppage time here in Limerick.
Flick came in there across Dan's arm just before he pulled the trigger. It was Aidan Hart.
Mark Keogh has also come into the action in the last while. So now free to Tipperary. Standing over it, Seamus Calden, scorer of a goal and a point. Seconds ticking away.
Another minute and a half after this, Ger, so there's loads and loads of time left. This next ball now is absolutely crucial to both these teams' future.
So from the puck out now, it's possession is crucial, absolutely vital for both teams. Éanna Murphy, the rookie goalkeeper for Galway, first championship campaign, belting it all the way down as far as he possibly can.
Just put it dead.
Put it out of play.
Just put it dead. I'd say that was the call to get Tipperary. Shane O'Neill is down the sideline. He's looking at the linesman saying time. It's not the worst option in the world, to be fair, but to reset behind the ball now with your extra man.
From the cut into the half in which Galway are defending, and it's controlled there by Garrod McInerney, trying to get it out via Aidan Hart, the goal scorer there a little while ago.
Yeah.
A challenge by one of the Tipperary players deemed to be a foul. Looking at it there plaintively is Willie Connors, but this is the challenge again here.
Yeah, just a frontal charge. You're chasing the game at this stage, Jerry. You know you've only got 10, 15, 20 seconds left. Willie Connors is shaking the head there. Galway will give all day now, taking this free. But Galway there.
Joe Canning ready to hit this one. Crucially important one from him, even though they are in front at this stage. Every opportunity counts from his own 65-metre line. In the sunshine of Limerick with the breeze behind him. In the final moments of stoppage time. Looking to take his team into the All-Ireland semi-finals. He's caught it magnificently, and that is 14 points in all.
He's allowing the puck out, Ger.
One last chance, maybe. Tipperary looking for something special somewhere, but in the end, it's a Galway catch back there. A foul as well on the Galway defender.
Dahi Burke,
Dahi Burke.
Helmet has to come off now anyway, but it was fantastic play. It was the last chance for Tipperary. See, Dahi Burke gets it. He knows no good in playing out a ball. He was being held back inside there by John McGrath. You can see John had a hold of his hurley.
Running repairs being carried out there on Dahi Burke. Maybe there was a shaky start, but he grew into the game bit by bit, as we always knew he would. And for Liam Sheedy and Tipperary, behind at this stage, and time ticking away.
Yeah, we're going well into above the injury time now, Ger. Expect Éanna Murphy to maybe find the corner flag again. You'd expect it. Jason Flynn has moved right out to the side. The inside forwards of Galway are right out on the sideline, intent that they're not going to bomb it down the middle. It's going to the corners.
So Anna Murphy,
there it is,
hitting it. The final whistle goes, and Galway are through to the All-Ireland semi-finals, having seen off the challenge of Tipperary here. And they did it with some considerable amount of style as well. A powerful display by them. The final score here showing that Galway have won. It's Galway 3 goals and 23 points. It's Tipperary 2 goals and 24, beg your pardon, because the scoreboard rushes off so quickly here. Final score again here, it's 3 goals and 23 points. That's 32 points. Tipperary 2 goals and 24. Brendan, you're summing up.
Yeah, congratulations to Galway. Did really, really well coming down the home straight. As soon as Cathal Bird, I suppose, had seen that second yellow card and gone off, it gave Galway the impetus to push on. You know, they've done really, really well. Tipperary put up an unbelievable fight here today in Liam Seedy's charge. You wouldn't have expected any less. But Galway march on, you know, and they're starting to fill that little bit of potential that we saw in the Wexford game. So it's still anybody's championship. Unfortunately, Tip are the ones that are gone, and Galway now go on next weekend to the All-Ireland semi-final.
Galway so disappointed to have lost the Leinster final last week against Kilkenny, but they're back now where they intended to be anyway. At the semi-final stage, they will be very serious contenders for the title again in this peculiar and amazing year in 2020. Galway march on, Tipperary bow out.
Thank you, Jareth. Thank you, Brendan. So it will be a repeat of the 2018 All-Ireland final between Limerick and Galway in this year's semi-final, taking place in just 8 days' time. We knew it was going to be hard to call. Derek McGrath still thought this one was going to extra time right until the very, very end. Deserved winners, or is it really difficult to say who deserves it when it's that close throughout?
Yeah, I think you've summed it up well there. Very difficult to say who overall, in terms of who deserved it, if you like. Obviously, a big moment in the second half of the sending off of Cathal Barrett, but I think Galway actually, ironically, they didn't really push on directly after that, I feel like. It took them a while to kind of find their foothold, and Tip were pressing right to the end, as you'd expect from All-Ireland champions. And
we know Liam Sheedy clearly not happy with the decisions. If you're a lip reader, you'd have some fair idea of what he was saying. But we did see Tipperary last year against Wexford. They lost John McGrath to a red card in the 45th minute, so they had a few minutes extra with 15 men this time around. And they did still continue to make it very difficult for Galway, or did Galway make it difficult for themselves in some ways?
I think there was a bit of both, but I think the time of the year, the condition of Limerick's fields, they played down there last week, it's softer underfoot, you know, and you could see that, so that definitely played its part. I think Tipperary responded like true champions, being honest about it. They didn't die, because 52 minutes, man up, they were playing against the breeze as well. They responded very, very well. Their subs that came in, Willie Connors, Paddy Condell, actually have big influence in the game. But Galway, to be fair, I think they learned a lot of lessons from last week, and they just responded, kept tipping over the points, and I think it was more Joe's brilliance from free taking and that brilliant sideline we saw, like that was just brilliant to get him back level, and then they just had that little bit, and then obviously it's still Galway dependent on Aidan Hart's goal to win the match, so it was that tight. The match kind of lulled a little bit after half time. It gave us a bit of a breather, but then again the last quarter was brilliant. And
we did see some of their bigger players. I mean, Henry mentioned Joe, but we saw towards the end when Seamus Callan in particular was trying to attack and get something back for Tipperary. At one stage it was Gerald McInerney who got in there and forced the turnover, and then Daithí Burke right at the end as well. Yeah,
look, I remember preparing to play Galway in All-Ireland final in 17, and you're looking at the spine of the team. Daithí Burke, Gerard McInerney, Joe Canning, Cathal Mannion, and their big players stood up at crucial moments. And, you know, Callan had kind of edged the battle even in the first quarter of the second half, got a beautiful point over his left-hand side. But Daithí Burke kind of came and grew into that, and Gerard McInerney sitting back there helping out as the day went on, and Cathal Mannion got some really, really good scores as well. So, yeah, look, it's very hard to present the case for either team being dominant at any stage of the game. It was that type of game, you know. It's very hard to kind of stand here and kind of say, oh, it was because of Galway's this. It was a game right to the end, and I think Tipperary deserve huge credit for that as well.
Actually, isn't that a brilliant way of summing it up? Because even when we were trying to decide what to talk about and what pictures and what shots we should use, it was next to impossible throughout the entire 70 minutes.
Yeah, it was that kind of a game. But I think the seminal moment in it was the sending off. There's no doubt about it. I think Tip had a great chance otherwise, and I'm sure we'll look back at the 2 yellow cards, but the second yellow card was warranted, and that's the, you know, you are punished because of it. So it was very difficult, but that was it. And there's Joe was a very happy man this evening, and they'll be looking forward to, everyone was looking forward to a Limerick Galway All-Ireland semi-final set up again for next weekend brilliantly.
Okay, so it is really, really set up for next week. We will be talking about the brilliance that we've seen so far today at the Gaelic grounds in Limerick next.
Littlewoods Ireland, proud sponsor of the GAA Hurling Championship.
That's the point of the match, actually. The point of the match.
Tis, yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. Gee, don't tell me he's going back for Hawkeye.
Absolute heartache for Tipperary, but sheer joy for their opponents Galway, who are the first team through to the 2020 All-Ireland Hurling semi-final. And they will play the champions of a couple of years ago, Limerick. What a game that's going to be, and we will of course have it live for you here on RT2. Okay, a lot of talking about the significance of this sending off now. I think you've both already said that there's no question marks over the second yellow card, but what about the first one?
Yeah, for me, if the first yellow card is a yellow card, we may give it up, because I just see nothing in this. I think it's a genuine attempt to flick the ball away. Again, it's not as clear as perhaps the lads might be able to focus in on tomorrow night, but for me, there's a genuine attempt at just a flick away there. And
yeah, and the only thing we were listening to just at half the break time there, and the only thing we could hear a click. I remember getting a book of myself off Barry Kelly for a click and a hurl, and just the sound, because there's no spectators there, it might sound worse. I think that one is he's late, he's a yard behind him, he reaches in and he does catch him in the side of the head. So I think he's no issues with that. But when you look back at the first one, which we forgot about because there were so many incidents during the game, I think the first one is a very difficult one for him to take.
The only question you will ask is, when you're a defender, especially in full-back line, and you know you're on a yellow card, you know you have to be extra careful.
That's a fair point. If you look at Ronan Maher was on a similar yellow card, and he kind of jockeyed Conor Whelan a little bit more, probably, you know, carefully, if you like, during the second half. So yeah, the decision making a call. But again, I would see that even the second one, albeit it's a yellow, it was an attempt to play the ball. I think, you know, flick the ball away, but it's a definite yellow.
Regardless, Galway still had to get in and get something on the scoreboard, and they struggled to really get something definitive for long periods, but they were patient, and it eventually came.
Yeah, the Tipperary responded very, very well, but then actually Galway had tried twice to score here, and Paddy Condell was coming out, he got turned over. Joe Canning did very well. Here is the pivotal moment for me. Jason Flynn doesn't try to force a point. There were 2 points behind. He gets his head up his vision, because obviously Tipper were working so hard, they get sucked in. And to be fair to Adrian too, he gives it to Aidan Hart then. Aidan Hart from up from wing back, corner back, I'm not quite sure, scores a rider over goal to win it, be firm. There was a long way out, to be honest, and from this angle, I would say is that he struck it well into the ground. We've been watching players do that. Brian Hogan, for me, went down a little bit too quick. He should have stood up, but it skidded off the ground lovely and into the bottom corner.
And the other thing, I think, is a reflection. If you look at the Waterford game against Cork, Caleb Lyons gets a goal from wing back last year. Chris Crummy gets a goal from wing back. Aidan Hart has number 2 on his back, a goal. Yeah. It's probably just a representation of what's happening in terms of where players are turning up, and I think it's great.
I love you summed it up as well. By the way, it just goes to show, don't take any advice from the great Henry, because he was watching saying, don't go for the goal, don't go for the goal.
He should have put it over the bar. There were 2 points down, but it was a brilliant finish.
Derek McGrath, that leads us nicely to man of the match.
Yeah, look, I think, as I said, a couple of years ago we were here and Aidan Hart was sweeping. I think he's been a very, very effective player for Galway over the years. Kind of understated. Alan Flynn, I think, was very effective for Tipperary today. Obviously Joe had 14 points, 12 points from frees, 2 points from sidelines, etc. But I think overall, in terms of the influence he had on the game, the seminal moment besides the sending off was Aidan Hart, and I thought he was steady all the way through, so I think a deserving winner.
It was far more than steady, that goal that did the damage in the end for Galway. Aidan Hart is the man of the match, and he's with Damien.
Aidan, congratulations, you're the Littlewoods Ireland man of the match. Some game.
Yeah, unbelievable, sure. Nip and tuck right to the end there. Just said to Garrows there, I thought the two of us blew it between us, going to pick up the last ball, but sure, look at, we held firm in the end. I think Dahi had a great catch in the air, and that's what it's all about. Subs played a big part in the game.
Do positions mean much in a game like that?
I suppose, look at some, we all have systems, don't we, and plans and stuff like that, and sometimes going into the last 5 or 6 minutes, you really have to go for it. You don't want to see any man loose, and I suppose we had the extra man there, so it allowed the rest of us to just go all over the field with our own man and let Pádraig sit and mind the house at home.
Your goal was crucial. Was that a case of what you just said, see the space and maybe go for it? You could have tapped it over the bar.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was 65 minutes there. I had a chance off my left and dropped it in short, but thankfully the experience has stood to me now at this stage. I know it's never over till it's over, so just keep going for the team and trying to do your best in the next ball.
Just to pick up from where you left off last weekend, you know, you produced a huge performance here now, but was it a huge turnaround for you mentally to get ready for today?
Look, we'd be happy with an awful lot of aspects of last week's game as well. We were 5 up, went a point or 2 down, we went up again, went down again. would we have done that maybe a few years ago? We mightn't have. So we took great heart from that, the resilience that we showed to actually get back in the game again. And it's not like we were playing nobodies last week. Look, we were playing a strong Kilkenny team who hadn't won Leinster in three or four years, so they were always going to be up for it as well. And we just knew that if we needed to be on our A game here again today, and what we did last week probably wouldn't be good enough, but it wasn't bad last week, and we knew we could build on that again. And
Aidan, if I could ask you finally, one factor that turned this game in your favour today, what would that have been?
I think just at crucial times there, maybe coming out of the backs. I can be caught for sometimes myself, maybe playing the ball too quickly to the inside line. If we can just shorten it up a small bit more and get the ball to hand, it works an awful lot better, especially in the tough conditions this time of year.
Well, another great day. You're the Littlewoods Ireland man of the match. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, we rarely get so much out of a player analysing a game in such detail as Aidan Hart did there, so well done to him, and obviously for the goal as well and the significance of it in this All-Ireland quarter-final. Now, you two were mentioning also the significance of Joe Canning from placed balls, and it was funny because one of the things Derek had said in that second half was, this is key when you have a player who's not necessarily playing as well as he could, to know that he's still able to step up and do this for you.
Yeah, we spoke about him here last week, the sweetness of his strike, and it was no difference, you know, when they needed him, when they weren't go great in just after half time. Look at that, back in his own half. And we can show the strength of the wind there, obviously. This was just beautiful, to be honest. It was artistry, you know, the way we got an angle in the stand, and he just swung the ball over the bar. The next free up then was actually in the same position. I said it was a very difficult free. Again, just drilled it over the bar. At times when they really needed someone, and you talk about leaders, and Joe has become the big leader for Galway.
Look at that for a pick-up, Derek.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, you know, we're in danger of taking things for granted sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's sometimes we find ourselves taking things like that for granted. And I'm always amazed by Canning's calmness as well. I think he's a lovely sense of kind of calmness. He seems to be just elevated to a different level in terms of the whole approach to it, a real kind of perspective on things. So.
Well, didn't he say that recently about the fact that he doesn't take hurling all that seriously? He knows that there are much more important things in life than that. That's even before this year.
Yeah, but he obviously practices an awful lot, I tell you. That's one sure thing, because he's doing that. And John, sorry, that was actually Jason Flynn who got that point. You know, we said about Galway early the match, they didn't, in the critical moments, they didn't react to Kilkenny's dominance the last day. I think they did today. They used the ball very well. Jason Flynn got a point from that. Another factor which we didn't get to show was that Tipperary went through, and I think it was Adrian Toohey came on, cynically pulled down the Tipperary player going through. So that moment was there, and I'm sure there was a lot of Tipperary people screaming, you know, this should be a sin bin, this should be a penalty.
Shefflin calling for black card.
No, well, I just think it is. You know, as Derek would say, if it was any of us, a manager would be saying take him down because he stopped the goal scoring opportunity. But there was so many moments like that during the match.
Well, Henry's County Kilkenny may have made things very difficult for Shane O'Neill last year, but still not a bad opening season as Galway manager. He's with Damien.
Shane, congratulations. Great game, massive win. Where did you win that game in your opinion?
Oh, it's a hard one to call, to be honest with you, because it was tit for tat. I thought it was really an epic senior match. We didn't expect anything less, to be honest with you. I just thought we just maybe were a bit more composed in the second half than we were in the first half. First half, we just seemed to be on the ball, maybe not as composed as we actually should have been, but we were a lot more composed in the second half.
You pushed up on Tipperary quite a bit, and you came from maybe a few points down. How deep did the lads have to dig mentally to go ahead of Tipperary once more?
Well, when you're playing a team like Tip, you know, we've got really serious forwards, and you can see with the score that was put up there, and really tough, tight backs. You know, the challenge was there for the boys, and we're just delighted that they rose to it.
Shane, on the sideline, how difficult is it to manage and coach in a game like this? Every time there's a pocket of space, the opposition exploited, then you counteracted. It was non-stop tactics, it seemed, throughout. And how difficult is it to keep a hold of all that on the line?
Well, the way the game has gone, I suppose there's just movement absolutely everywhere, and as you were saying, there are pockets of space everywhere. I suppose it depends on what type of matchups you have, and everybody's keeping an eye on those. The players themselves on the pitch as well, and they would have been told particular matchups beforehand to make sure they actually stay with those. But generally, sometimes the games can take a life of their own. At times it looked like that was the possibility there today, but I thought we controlled it well then in the second half.
And Shane, David Burke and Johnny Cohen coming off at half-time, tactics again involved in that. What was your thinking behind that, and huge trust in your own extended panel also?
Well, we have a very strong extended panel, and we just knew that today we'd have to use everybody, and you could see that we actually use everybody. The boys did brilliantly in the first half, worked extremely hard, and the lads who came in did exactly the same.
Did you play any differently when Tipperary lost that man?
Not particularly, no. I think it was just more, again, going back to the composure. I just felt that we were for ourselves, we were a lot more composed in the second half than the first half.
Final question. Were you surprised to see Aidan Hart popping up for that?
I was. He was
late
after
goal?
missing about 3 shots before, so we didn't want him to shoot, but in fairness, it was some finish.
Congratulations, Shane.
Great. Thank you very much.
So Shane was backing Henry on that one after all. There you go. So we've got just over a week to go to an All-Ireland semi-final between Limerick and Galway. Now, Henry was mentioning how heavy the ground in Limerick would have been and that may have affected Tip in some ways, coming off heavy ground like that. So are they going to be tired going to this game next week?
I don't think so. We touched on at the start of the game. Psychologically, I think will be I think Galway played very well here against Wexford, played very well for long periods here against Kilkenny. So I think they'll welcome the hard ground, as will Limerick.
And do you think Derek's old charges have made Limerick look slightly more human this year than a lot of people perhaps expected?
Yeah, well, I think once you get to this time of the year, you're going to look more human. You know, the matches are going to get tighter and tighter. Physically, you know, Galway are one team who are as big as Limerick, so it'll be massive to see, massive being the word, to see the two of them come together and collide in here. It's going to be a great game, and I think Galway will look forward to playing Limerick.
OK, so a big congratulations to Galway on making it through to the semi-final. Thank you to Derek and to Henry for their time today. So the 2019 All-Ireland Hurling Champions are out, and this evening Meath will try to create the biggest shock of them all by sending out the current All-Ireland Football Champions. So do join us from 6 o'clock for live coverage of the Leinster Football Final on a weekend of great significance for both the GAA and of course also for the island of Ireland. Goodbye.
Littlewoods Ireland, proud sponsor of the GAA All-Ireland Senior Hurling Championship.